A sheet pan is gonna change your life when it comes to preparing meals. You don't always have to use the stove for everything. I wanna show you how quick it is to make sheet pan eggs. This is great if you're trying to feed a crowd for breakfast. This is also perfect for meal prep. We're just starting with about a dozen eggs. Break these yolks up, start mixing things up. Now you can keep this simple and just do eggs, or you can do this more omelet style, do some mix-ins. If you're an egg white only person, they have those cartons of egg whites. So if you just wanna do a big sheet pan egg white omelet, why not? It's my prepared sheet pan, and it's this easy. Dump, you can use parchment paper, but I like these Silpat baking mats. Just even this out. I'm gonna add some green onion, and I just grated some Monterey Jack cheese. Any protein that you do in here, you just wanna make sure it's already cooked. And any heartier vegetables, you wanna make sure those are already cooked as well. I'm preheated to 350. Little jiggle to make sure it's even. It'll take about 15 minutes. Just check it. You don't want overcooked eggs, so as soon as those eggs are set, you can pull it. You can just segment this up. Still creamy, super easy eggs. Make your breakfast sandwiches. Just put this on the side with some potatoes. Perfect, they're so good. So I have some ground beef in my mixer here. I'm gonna season it up. Just the regular suspects, salt, pepper, garlic, any of your favorite seasonings. Just make sure all those spices are evenly distributed. Now the goal here, get this all in one flat surface. I put parchment down on this first. This just helps things to not stick. Of course, you could wear gloves or just use the back of a spatula to press this out too. Straight into the hot oven. You wanna get some burger buns. I just have them arranged on another sheet tray, and then these are just gonna go in the oven in the last few minutes of cooking. This still has a few more minutes to cook, but we wanna make cheeseburgers, so I'm gonna slap some cheese on, get it nice and melted while it finishes cooking. Nice and toasted, and that's it, we're set. These look juicy and fantastic. I'm just gonna segment these now into burgers. It's nice, perfect centerpiece. Put your lettuce on the bottom, slice of tomato, a little bit of onion. Check out that burger action. For a party, weeknight dinner, this is a go-to. Here's an easy way to make 3 separate meals all at one time. The first step is you're gonna need some foil. For this, I'm gonna need 3 separate pieces. I'm gonna fold these edges together to create 3 sections. One sheet pan is now 3. Now, just separate the chicken. You can do this with beef, shrimp, vegetables, whatever you want. I'm doing this because for my weekly meal prep, I want 3 different flavors. That way, I don't get tired of the same thing throughout the week. And this is all up to your imagination. Be creative and mix up the flavors. And to save time, I've diced this chicken so it'll cook quicker. Oh, I like it spicy, more spice. There we go. It's all the same ingredient, all the same size, so it'll cook evenly all at once. A meal prep shortcut is having the grocery store help you out with pre-cut ingredients. Frozen vegetables are also another huge time saver. The divider method works great, but alternatively, you can keep your ingredients plain and simple and mix up the flavors by topping them with different sauces. I prepped all the same ingredients, but can have some variety with different flavors throughout the week. And just like that, lunch and dinner for the whole week. Best part about this method is easy cleanup. Quick rinse and I'm done. Here's how to eat great pizza for less. Every good pizza starts with dough. The ingredients are flour, water, and salt. You can't get much cheaper than that. Little sugar to help retain the moisture, and salt for flavor. Warm water to make the yeast nice and happy. Just a little bit of oil. Just want this to run on low until it all combines. If your dough's looking a little dry, you can add a touch more water, or if it's looking too wet and sticky, add a little bit more flour. I'm gonna let this run about 5 minutes to help develop that gluten. No worries if you don't have a mixer, this can all be done by hand. This comes together 10 minutes in the morning, let it slow proof in the fridge, and then it's ready for dinner. That dough rose nicely, time to bake. Little olive oil, 500 degrees, about as high as your oven can go. Nice and crispy bottom. Give that dough a head start in the oven about 10 minutes. Sauce and top with your favorite ingredients. Back into the inferno for about another 10 to 15 minutes. Hot and fresh out of your own oven. Delivery who? Now that's saving some dough. One of the easiest meals you can do is sheet pan fajitas. I'm just gonna start with the traditional mix here, some bell peppers and onion. Get that on a sheet pan. I'm using some parchment. You can use a silicone baking mat. Just makes for easy cleanup afterwards. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. And then I made my own fajita mixture taco seasoning. It's really easy. Or you can get the pre-blended taco seasoning from the aisle. Go heavy on the seasoning. That's where all the flavor is gonna come from. Get it all mixed up. You want them to lay pretty flat so everything cooks evenly. Once the vegetables are set, we can do the chicken. I just cut up some chicken breast. You can do a vegetable version with some portobello mushrooms. It's really endless here. We're gonna go with the same mixture, some oil, and a generous amount of that seasoning. All I need to do, throw this in the oven, and halfway through cooking, I'm gonna toss it around, let it finish cooking, and you've got fajitas. Quick, easy, and cleanup is gonna be a breeze. If you have dirty baking sheets, I wanna show you why you shouldn't clean them. For some of your bakeware, you actually want them to develop a seasoning, to develop a coating, and this is really, really super simple to do. You just need some vegetable oil, some corn oil, just a basic oil. Don't use olive oil here. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of oil and start wiping it all over this sheet pan. Seasoning will help create a non-stick layer on your sheet pans. That thin layer of oil over time will build up and then nothing will stick. And then you can just bake right on the cookware and then rinse it off, a little soap and water, and you're good to go. If you're roasting vegetables, if you're trying to get a lot of browning, you want a dark, dark pan. The dark pan will radiate a little bit more heat and create a lot more of that caramelization, a lot more of that color, create a lot more browning. So there we go. Thinnest layer, you can barely tell it's on there. I have an oven at 375. This is gonna go in there for about an hour. If you do the initial bake and it's still a little sticky, that just means you put a little bit extra oil on there. Just bake it again for another 30, 45 minutes until it's not sticky. An hour later and things are looking worse, which is better actually. This is what we want. Brown, not looking great. And this will build up over time. So this initial seasoning is just to get this started. Keep using this pan, you can build up that layer and keep this getting darker over time. Love chicken wings, but can't decide on a favorite? Here's how to make 3 different flavors all on one pan. I like the heavy duty foil because it's strong and durable and it makes creating these dividers really easy. Everything's gonna get salt, pepper, and a little garlic. I also do a little bit of baking powder to help that skin crisp up. And this first section's gonna get a little lemon pepper. Section 2 is gonna be garlic parmesan. So I'm just gonna go in with a little onion powder. In our last section, cayenne, chili powder, and paprika. Get those same spices on the other side. And then a little spray of avocado oil. Now into the oven at 425. It's been 30 minutes and these wings have a good head start. It's time to get things saucy. I'm gonna season up this first section with my lemon pepper. Next section is garlic parmesan. And now for our spicy section. These are gonna go back in the oven, another 15 to 20 minutes. This is perfect because nobody gets left out. Everybody gets to enjoy their favorite flavor. So glad I didn't have to pick one. Today I wanna show you how to make your own cheesy snack mix. I'm gonna start off by measuring a half a cup of oil. I did 2 tablespoons of my taco spice, and I'm gonna add in some cheese powder, and I'm gonna put 4 tablespoons of this in there. Tomato bouillon powder, a little bit of this goes a long way. Some citric acid, about a teaspoon. Starting off with some Chex Mix, corn and rice. I like a mixture of everything. Whatever you like, you can use here. 2 cups of each cereal. And then some pretzel twist. Now for added crunch, I love these sourdough pretzel bites. So then our flavored cheesy spiced oil. Be gentle, kind of fold things in. You don't want to crush up the cereals, but get everything really well coated. So if things are looking a little dry, you can add a little bit more oil, but if they're looking a little oily, go ahead and add a little bit more seasoning to this or a little bit more cereal. But don't use water, don't use any liquids that'll add moisture. That will defeat the crunch factor that we're going for. I have my sheet pan here with my silicone baking mat. I have an oven preheated to 275. This is gonna go in there. It takes about 45 minutes, and then you wanna stir it about every 15 minutes. So we're just gonna add a little bit of popcorn. Now I didn't bake the popcorn because the popcorn has a tendency to overcook, dry out. You want this cool before you pack it away. Just let it sit out until it gets to room temperature. And here we are, the results are crunchy, savory, and delicious. One of the classic after-school snacks was Totino's pizza rolls, so I decided to make them myself. So here's how to do it. You only need a little bit of filling per pizza roll. Maybe this is a cup of cheese. I kind of prefer the thicker cut pepperoni. To make these easier to cut, I leave them in the refrigerator right before I'm about to cut them. You just need a little bit of pepperoni just to dot throughout the cheese mixture. So you just need a few tablespoons of sauce. We don't want this wet. So you can season it up however you want. If you're making it at home anyways, doing a DIY recipe, you know, make it your own. What we're using to make our pizza roll, wonton skins. It's good to keep these covered just so they don't dry out. You could do that with a little loose piece of plastic wrap or a damp paper towel. So you don't need much filling here. For these small ones, you need about a teaspoon, and then I'm gonna use just a little bit of water just to act as glue. So basically you roll it, press it down, and you fold under the sides and kind of pinch those closed, fold them under. There we go, we have our little pizza purse. Line those on a tray. I'm gonna get a little bit of olive oil, Italian seasoning, Parmesan cheese, get that mixed up, and we're just gonna brush this mixture on. These really take no time in the oven, just about 15 minutes. I'm gonna let these set up for a few minutes, and then we're ready to go.
These look incredible. You gotta try these.